What if the secret to becoming a top student wasn't about being a genius or studying for hours and hours? What if it was just one simple habit? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. A story about a pretty incredible transformation that was all powered by one tiny, consistent action.
All right, so let's not waste any time. Here it is, the big secret, right from the get-go. The key to all this success, it wasn't some crazy, complicated study plan. It was just 30 minutes. Yep, that's it, 30 minutes a day. Now you're probably thinking, how on earth is that even possible? Well, stick around, because that's exactly what we're about to find out.
Okay, so to really get how powerful this habit is, we got to start at the beginning. We need to meet the student at the center of this story. And what's so cool about this is that he starts from a place that honestly probably sounds really familiar to a lot of you.
So, I want you to picture this guy, just a totally average student. You know, he wasn't the one who always shot his hand up in class, and he definitely wasn't the one who aced every single test without breaking a sweat. Nope, he was just a regular kid trying to get through school just like most of us.
And let's be super clear about what average means here. We're not talking about someone who was secretly brilliant. He wasn't seen as being extra intelligent, and he didn't pick things up super fast either. By pretty much every measure, he was just ordinary. This is our starting point, our before picture, and it's so important for understanding what comes next. So, what was the turning point? What changed everything? Well, it wasn't some lightning bolt of inspiration or a magic study trick he found online. It was something much smaller, a tiny habit that seemed almost insignificant at first. Let's get into how this one little change started to snowball into something massive.
And there it is, 30. That's the magic number. We're talking just 30 minutes every single day. See, the real power here isn't the amount of time, it's the fact that it was daily. It was a relentless commitment. And think about it, it's such a small chunk of time that it's not intimidating, right? It doesn't feel like this huge, overwhelming task. And that's exactly why it works.
Okay, so what exactly was he doing in those 30 minutes? It all boiled down to a super simple two-step process. First up, just revision. That's it. He would just go over the stuff he'd already been taught. This is huge because that simple act is what locks information into your long-term memory. It's like building a foundation, brick by brick, every single day. And the second part? Total, unbroken consistency. He just didn't stop. Every day, no matter what. No excuses.
So you've got this small habit, done every single day. What kind of results are we talking about? You might be thinking, okay, maybe his grades went up a little bit. You'd expect some slow, steady improvement, right? Well, what actually happened after just 3 months was pretty mind-blowing.
And this just lays it all out perfectly. You've got the starting point, a totally average student. And then, just 3 months later, he's the topper of the entire class. This wasn't just moving up a few spots. This was a complete 180-degree transformation, a total game changer.
All right, when you see a change that's this huge and this fast, your brain immediately starts looking for another explanation, right? You start asking, was this just luck? A total fluke? Maybe the exams just happened to be on the one thing he was actually good at.
But the answer to all of those questions is a big, fat no. This wasn't about luck, it wasn't about chance. The real power behind his success was something way more dependable, and it's something that literally anyone, and yeah, I'm talking to you, can tap into. You know, from the outside, I get why people would just chalk it up to luck. Because when you don't see the tiny, daily bits of effort, those 30-minute blocks, the end result looks like it came out of nowhere. It's that classic iceberg thing, right? Everybody sees the incredible success, the top grades. That's the tip of the iceberg. But what they don't see is the massive amount of daily, consistent work hidden just below the surface.
And this really brings us to the main takeaway of this whole story. It's a simple truth, but it explains everything. Consistency beats talent every single time. Why? Because talent might get you off the starting blocks faster, but consistency, that's what builds momentum. Those 30 minutes of revision day after day, they compound it. It's like compound interest for your brain. And over time, that foundation he built became so strong that it just blew past people who might have had more natural talent to begin with.
So, all of this leads to one final, and honestly the most important question of all, a question for you. Because this isn't really just a story about some student, right? It's a blueprint. It's a principle you can apply to anything in life. Learning an instrument, getting in shape, building a business, anything. So, what's that one small, consistent thing you could start doing today? What's your 30-minute habit going to be?